Okay, welcome back to WakeSurfology, episode 13. My name is Dylan Ayala. This is my co-host, Jake Breedlove. And today we are going to be talking about different wake surfing tricks and kind of just a random episode.
Yeah, we just had the idea to create a wheel and throw just about every trick we can think of on there and spin it and talk about them.
Yes, sir.
Anything that comes to mind. Can we do the tricks? Have we done the tricks?
Maybe who does them the best. Just different things with tricks.
Yeah.
But before we dive into it, we got back from the comp last weekend on Lake Conroe. It was a fun comp. I did horrible, but it was still fun.
Yeah, the conditions were pretty rough out there. It's not the best lake for ideal conditions. There's lots of chop and lots of wind too.
Yep.
So that plays a big factor, and it gets us sometimes.
Yeah, it's a cool venue, though. It was a fun venue. It was at Margaritaville, so it was like a little resort. Although we didn't use any of the pools or anything, but it was cool.
Yeah, it was just a 2-day event.
Yeah.
And, we're kept busy throughout those 2 days usually. But I hear next year it'll be 3 days, so I'm looking forward to that. More time out there.
Yeah, it was fun, too, because we stayed in the hotel right there, so we got to hang out, and it's nice being close to the comp site.
Yeah, you don't have to leave. You just wake up, you go get some food, you go watch some riders compete, and then get ready for your own ride, have some fun.
Yeah.
Go to the pool.
Because at some comps, you got to, stay out in the town or drive out to the lake, and if you're at the comp, you're there all day, so it can be very tiring.
It can get very tiring, especially if there's, not a lot of food around the comp site, stuff like that, or even just bathrooms sometimes.
True.
Sometimes you gotta be comfortable,
But yeah, all right, well, let's dive into it. You want to spin the wheel, or you got anything else to add before we dive in?
No, I do not. I'm ready to spin the wheel.
All right, let's do it.
Let's get to it. Alrighty, so you might not be able to see it too well. I just found a wheel online, and I just input all these different tricks. I put in switch tricks, heel side tricks, switch toe side. I don't know if I got everything in there, but
You said you put in 150, right?
there are currently 158 tricks
That's so
input
many.
in here.
That's so
But
many
I'm pretty
tricks.
sure there are a few more. Maybe I accidentally input some twice, but
All
okay.
right, well, let's see our first one.
First trick, spinning now. I don't know how long it takes. Maybe it takes 2
It is
seconds.
a 2 minute.
Never stops.
Here it comes. What is it?
What is it? Switch toe side air 3.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I have never done that.
So just to clarify, we are regular riders. We ride on the port side, which is the left side. The goofy riders ride on the starboard side. So a regular air 3 for us, we would do it on the port side. But if you're switch toe side, you're on the other side of the wave, the side that the goofy riders ride on.
Yeah.
And you have your toes to the wave. So it's all kinds of difficult.
Yeah, that's a hard trick. I mean, I barely started trying switch toe side riding this year, and I can do an air. That's about all I can do. So an air 3 would be a tough trick. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I know a couple riders that could maybe do something like this. Maybe they already do know how to do something like this, but those riders that come to mind are Chad Carlson and Keegan Flegel. I think they could do something like this, and I feel like I have seen Chad do this before.
Yeah, for sure they've done switch toe side alley-oops, but I'm sure they could do the air 3 too.
Yeah, that's a tough trick. That's high up in the difficulty. So.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very hard trick. I mean, even the regular toe side air 3 is a difficult trick, but to do it in your switch stance is crazy.
Yeah, and maybe we'll see more switch toe side tricks or heel side tricks.
But
not a lot of riders are doing those in competition so much yet.
Yeah.
It's mainly Keenan and Chad, and then a few other riders, but we gotta get into that.
Yeah, that would be so sick. All right, should we do the next one?
Yeah, let's do another one. Spinning for trick 2. What is it gonna be? ... What is it? Okay, switch blind body varial.
Switch blind body varial.
Have you done a switch blind body varial?
I have not.
You'll be on your wave,
Yeah.
the port wave,
I have not done that. I have tried. Um, but if I were to do it, if I could land it, I bet my best option would be to try it in the flats.
That I've done it sometimes, or
Yeah.
sometimes I'll do it out of like a big spin, or maybe even if I'm just like, I don't know, over rotating when I land switch or something, I'll just like
You
hop
just
it
keep
real
it
quick.
going.
Try to, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't usually get it, but
Yeah. I've never landed that, so have you said you have landed it though?
yeah, I've landed it a few times.
Nice.
I haven't done it much, but that's about it.
Yeah, for some reason blind body varials are really hard for me. Or I mean, I've said it before, but like front side rotations are hard for me too. But yeah, I've never landed one in my life. Maybe this year.
Yeah, they're not super hard.
Yeah.
You just got to think about being level. I like when I first started doing it, I would be like leaning too much or something.
On your back foot or front foot?
Usually back foot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. We got to get another trick in here. What
Maybe
is it?
ones I can do.
No, yeah. I was telling Dylan, like 25% of these tricks we do on like our side of the wave.
Yeah.
And then 25%, well, 50% are on our side of the wave. Half of those are switch.
Yeah.
And then you go to the other side, which is another 50% with toe side, switch, and
Yeah.
then heel side.
So there's a lot of tricks in there. I mean, you got 158, so that's so many.
Yeah. Okay, so I have another one here. It just
Okay.
landed on it. Switch, blind, sex change. So,
Dude, you put a lot of hard tricks on here.
well, again, 75% of them are ones we don't do as often.
Okay, we'll explain that trick.
So, I recently learned the difference between a body varial and a sex change
Okay.
just by word of mouth, and I'm pretty sure this is the correct terminology for it and how you do it, but the sex change is when you air off the wave and do a body varial.
Oh, okay.
And then a body varial is when you do it just like in the flats.
Okay, so
I
I,
mean,
do a sex change
I
when I do a body varial.
I
Kinda.
could still maybe be wrong about that, or the person that told me that could still be wrong, but
Yeah.
it makes sense to me because I
Yeah.
remember
That's
getting into
right.
the sport and like hearing about the trick, the sex change, and then hearing about the body varial, and I'm like, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe someone else knows more about the controversy there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But it's a switch what? Switch blind sex change? So you would be
You'd be switch and you would air off the lip
mm,
and go blind. So just like the one we just had, the
Well-
switch blind body varial,
but off the wave.
but off the wave.
Yeah, I can't do that either.
I don't think I've ever tried that before.
Yeah, I'm not sure I have either. I bet we could learn that one pretty fast though if we tried. You don't think so?
I don't know, because I mean it's like the body varial, the blind body varial,
But off the wave.
off the wave.
Yeah. For some reason, sometimes tricks for me are easier, like off the wave. Like a body varial for me, like I like to do it off the wave,
Yeah.
which I guess would be a sex change.
Yeah, you get lighter and you
Yeah.
like, have more time to like move.
Kind of helps me with my timing on it. I feel like
Yeah.
if I do it like off the wave.
Honestly, I just got the thought in my head. It would be really cool to do a switch blind sex change,
Mm-hmm.
but then when you come around, grab the board. Kind of like
Oh, that would be sick. With your left hand?
with your, I mean, either hand. I was thinking
Yeah.
right hand initially to like help get the rotation, but
Okay. Yeah, that
You
would be
could do
super
either hand.
sick. That would be sick.
it's
You
'cause
should
of-
try that.
Yeah, it's kind of like man, all these stances and
Yeah, all this
Rotation.
terminology. The
whatever.
like switch, sex change, body varial.
To blind toe side front big.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, next.
Next trick. Here we
Let
go.
me check this camera.
Dylan is checking a camera right now. Camera is okay. What is it? 1260.
Yo, like a 360 how many times?
That's 4 360s. So a
I could do that.
360 is one rotation. 722, 1080 is 3, and 1260 is
4.
4.
I
Wait.
could- 1080 plus 360 is
Wait, this
Oh,
is 1.5 or 3.5.
okay. So you're holding it revert. after the third 360.
Well, it's a 1440.
1440
That's supposed to be.
is what you were trying to put it in as.
Yeah, so let's just call this a 1440.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
4 360s. You don't really see that too often, especially in a comp. Usually people end at 1080, but
yeah, I could do that easy peasy. No, it's that I used to do a lot more 360s, and I could just do them forever. But I don't know, I kind of stopped doing a lot of them. It's a fun trick to do. Just keep on spinning.
Yeah, I feel like at least for us, when we got to pro, we had like a bunch of other tricks that we had to focus on that were just higher scoring that we needed to practice. So we kind of just forgot about the 360 or however many rotations you want to do.
Yeah, and like when you're first learning the 360, I feel like a lot of people will try and get around as fast as they can to like not lose the wave. But then you start to realize that you can actually like carry speed even if you're spinning. You know, like you can be halfway through a rotation and still be coming forward. So like you start to learn that you can carry speed through tricks and like through rotations.
Yeah, that's very true. And that's why some people, end up doing 1080s or 1440s.
Right, yeah.
If they want to. Alrighty. Another trick that we're going to get into, we're spinning right now. I'm really hoping it's a big spin or a shove, but we will see. It is an ollie north.
Ollie north. So is that like you put your front foot off?
Yeah, you basically air off the wave. I don't know why it's called an ollie north, or maybe they're two different things. Ollie north versus an air north, maybe. But you basically air, and then you like throw your front foot like over the nose of the board.
Okay. Does it matter which way you throw it, like into the wave or away, or do you know?
I don't know what you mean.
Like so say you were gonna take your front foot off.
Yeah.
You could either go off your heel side or off your toe side. You know what I mean? Like you could stick your foot out in front of you or like kind of to the heel side edge.
Yeah. So for the ollie north, it's straight over the front.
Oh, okay.
It's
just straight over.
Yeah, it's weird.
Nice.
I remember when I first saw that trick from the instructor that first taught me how to wake surf.
Yeah.
Back in like 2012, and he was jumping so high, and I was thinking like, you're basically doing the splits over the board. Like, how are you getting your leg even higher than the nose of the board? I don't know, it's wild.
So have you gotten that one? Have you done that?
Maybe once.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, it seems scary. It seems like it's hard to get your foot back, like after you kick it off, or I don't know. It seems like a hard trick.
Yeah, and I don't know if you necessarily have to get like. I think you just have to see your foot. Like if you're doing it behind the boat and people are looking from the boat, like they might not see your foot come over the front of the board depending on how far you kick it out, or like if the nose is too high, it might hide your foot a little bit, so they might not know you're doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've hurt my ankle doing that one. It's not
really
super fun.
How did you hurt it? Like as you're coming down, or did you hit it, or what?
Well, I guess I just thought I had to really get my foot out there and like shoving it past the nose and then trying to pull it back in and just like whacking it like on the tip of the board. But
yeah, that does seem painful. Yeah, I never tried that one. That sounds like a fun one. To me, it seems like that. I don't know if it would be easier than like going off the edges, but I don't know. It seems like a fun trick to try.
Yeah, it is pretty cool to see, that's for sure. But I don't think it's fun to try, in my opinion.
It's fun to see. It's a sick trick when people do it.
Well, and it's really cool when they like they do the alley-oop north. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that is sick.
Yeah, like I've seen Drew Drennan do that a ton, like in skim. Like I think a lot of skim riders do that trick.
Yeah.
And that's always really cool to see.
Yeah, like I oftentimes see whenever they do that too, they'll put like their hand down, it seems, like wherever their foot was. Maybe not necessarily that they always do that, but
yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's like supposed to be some kind of ollie north or if that's supposed to be some kind of like Madonna.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't really know, but alrighty. Next trick.
Yep.
You spin it.
All right. Let me spin. That's so funny. You put all these in here, 158 of them.
Yeah, there are more to input, but
Okay, we got a revert Gumby shove.
Revert Gumby shove. Okay. So, revert Gumby shove, this would be like after you do a shove or a front shove.
Okay, yeah.
You're still in your regular stance, but the board's revert. And so a Gumby shove, you basically shove it like a backside shove. Or you're basically doing like a shove out with a body varial, the opposite direction.
So you're shoving out, and as the board is rotating back in towards the wave, you're doing a body varial towards the boat.
Just the opposite direction of the board.
Yeah. I never landed that. Have you done that?
I've done this trick a few times. I would sometimes do it in competition, but I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah.
It's honestly not super hard because
really,
you just have to do a shove out, which is super easy. Like you don't even have to shove the board that much. You can kind of just jump off and it wants to shove already.
Yeah.
And then I like to do it kind of riding up the wave and then, taking off a little bit so my body's a little lighter. I have a little more time in the air to like see the board, rotate my body, and then plant my feet. The hardest part is probably just landing switch.
Yeah.
Which you could get by real quick. You could figure that out.
Yeah, I want to learn that one. That one sounds sick. How much harder is it than, or would you say it's harder than a regular Gumby shove?
I'd say it's easier.
Because you're landing with the nose in front again? Or why?
Well, yeah. I think I've never done a regular Gumby shove.
Yeah.
Where you do a shove, you do the body varial, but you land switch revert.
Yeah.
Or
switch
revert. That would be pretty cool, though. I have seen, what's his name? I have seen Cole McKnight do that, though.
Oh, that's sick.
He's the only person that I've seen do a regular Gumby shove on a surf style board, and that was sick.
Yeah, that is super sick. It seems hard. Seems hard to do. I've tried. They're very hard, but
a regular?
Or regular. I don't think I've tried a revert Gumby shove before.
It's a lot easier.
I need to try that one.
And then I've also seen Zane Montgomery do a switch revert Gumby. So, like, let's say you did an air 180 or an alley-oop.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then you do...
So you would do a blind body varial out of that?
Not blind. So you would basically do, like, a front shove out with a body varial.
Same direction?
No.
Okay, I get it.
So the board would shove into the wave.
Yeah.
And then you would kind of rotate back into the wave yourself.
Okay.
That wasn't a good description.
No, I get what you mean though. Yeah, it seems sick. Never tried that either.
On to the next trick. What is it? Can we do it? Can anyone do it?
A backflip? I'm kidding. You're like, wait, what? No, it's 720.
Okay, 720. Essentially the same thing. We can move on to another one.
Okay, yeah. Same thing as the other one.
Same thing as another one, but more common, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
You oftentimes see people in like semi-pro or sometimes like an amateur too. Like people will do 720s.
Heel side air 180.
Heel side air 180.
So
if you're doing a heel side air 180 or heel side air reverse, it's called different things. But essentially it's kind of like how you do an air, but you just continue the rotation until you land revert.
It's a hard trick too.
It's a lot harder. Like I feel like if you were to do that trick, you would follow through with like a 180 out the same direction.
Yeah.
Because like whenever we do it behind the boat on the regular side, we usually just cab it back.
Yeah, bring it around
cab
again.
180 back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard trick. I've only landed it a few times, and it's been a couple years since I've landed it. It's really hard. It's hard to get the rotation.
Yeah, and again, riders that can do this trick, Keenan Flegel, Chad Carlson, and then another one that comes to mind, Joey.
Yeah, he's sick.
He's wild, dude.
He goes so big, and he has such a surf style. It's so sick.
And whenever I see him do this trick specifically, he stomps it. Like pretty much how we stomp our regular Air 180s, and it's very impressive.
Yeah, and he like really loads into it. All three of them do, but like if you watch him, he loads into it so hard and like throws it so hard. It's so sick.
Yeah.
It's a really hard trick. It's hard to like get it to keep rotating past like 90 degrees for me.
Yeah, same.
I don't know how.
It's really weird. I don't know. It's just being on the other side of the wave.
Yeah, I always anytime I try to do it, oftentimes I'll just go over the wave. Like instead of like rotating around one spot, I'll like keep the heel side rail too long, and then as I'm throwing it, I just keep going to the other side.
See, I'm the other way around. I'm like,
Really? You're too far in the flat?
yeah, like I'm heavy on my toes
Yeah.
and my heels just because I'm super heavy on my toes. Or not my toes and my heels, but toes and back foot.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because I'm super heavy on my toes when I do like an alley-oop on the port side, which is essentially the same rotation that you'll be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But since the wave is flip-flopped,
Right.
it's just a completely different story. And I usually end up falling like on my face in the flats.
Yeah, I always
So.
get stuck on the top, and I don't get that much pop on it. That would be a trick that I would really like to learn and get down.
Yes, sir. What's another one we want to learn to get down?
I don't know your code.
Oh, you don't know my code?
No.
Shoot. Okay. Secret passcode.
It's like 10 words.
Next trick. Spin for the win with the revert drifter.
Oh, wow, you do that.
I've done this. I didn't think that we would get this one, but I only do this out of like a 180.
Mm-hmm.
For like a split second.
Yeah. It looks so
it.
sick. It's like whenever you over rotate your air 180s and then like you keep it in that position, it's so sick.
Yeah, and I remember the other day when we were going out, I was trying to do a 180 and I was trying to over rotate the 180 so I would just straight up land in the drifter.
Yeah.
Which is tough, but it makes the 180 look really cool.
Yeah, and sometimes too, like I feel like that's the way to carry speed. Maybe not necessarily in a drifter, but like kind of pointing the tail away from the wave, you can really carry a lot of speed.
Yeah, when the board is revert for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's better when the board is like you said, angled kind of out, not really pointed at the boat so much.
Yeah.
Because when you think of the wave coming from the boat, it curves out.
Right.
And it's better when the board is more perpendicular to the wave as opposed to like parallel with it.
Yeah, because if it was parallel, as soon as the fins catch, it's gonna whip you around.
Yeah, real fast.
Well, yeah. Should we do another one?
Yeah, let's do one more. Okay. Here we go. The spinning is slow.
The spin is a little slow. What did you get?
Switch sex change.
Should we do a different one?
Yeah, let's do a different one. All right, here we go for another trick. What is it going to be? Can you do this trick? I don't know.
What did you get?
Switch toe side shove. So many hard tricks.
Wow,
bro.
no, I can't do that.
Switch toe side shove. So it's basically like us doing a shove
But
on the port
opposite
side, but it's a mirror image.
Yeah.
It's an exact mirror image. So
You know who has really good switch riding is the Swanee Bros too.
yeah.
They're really good at switch.
Yeah, no, they have so much control.
Have you seen how Cameron rides with his feet too? Like his feet are like all over the board. Like he'll ride like this, bro. It's so weird.
Or sometimes like he's able to land with his feet in so many different spots,
Yeah.
and it doesn't seem to affect him.
Yeah, it's so
or like
weird.
the board will even be like a little crooked on the wave, even though his feet are.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just shifted stance.
Yeah,
funny.
it's like they ride completely different than anyone too. Like their feet are in such weird spots, but yeah, I can't do a switch toe side shove. I never even tried.
Not gonna land that anytime soon. unfortunately. So, yeah, those are some cool tricks. There's definitely a lot more that we didn't go through, but we'll do this again another podcast another day. But yeah, a lot of times we can't even do these tricks without our wax holding up properly.
True.
And I know for this last event that we had here in Texas, a lot of riders were messaging me about how to like care for your wax in like 100-degree heat. And like, what do you do? Like, how do you keep it from melting, sliding around? And I mean, there's only so much you can do. But
Yeah.
like, what do you think about that? Like, what do you got to do to keep your wax good?
Well, yeah, like you said, the water was hot itself, and it was also super hot outside, so the wax is gonna melt no matter what. But I don't know. I think the best thing you can do is keep your board out of the heat. I just got back from the lake, and I brought my board inside of here so it didn't melt outside of my car. Because once it melts, like it's so bad, like your whole wax job is kind of ruined. At least for me, like it'll just slide off.
Yeah, and it doesn't even need to be super hot outside for it to melt if it's in your car.
Yeah,
that's for sure. But yeah, we live in Texas, and at least this summer we've had some record heat. Like, I don't know what the record is, but we've had like, I think a whole month, maybe more, of 100-degree weather.
Yeah.
And so we're constantly battling with our wax melting and having to put more on. Did you have to worry about this in Arizona at all?
Yeah, for sure. You always kind of had to worry about it. But like something that I have seen is some people will put like their wax in cooler and bring like ice every time they go out, and then like apply their wax like super cold. But
yeah, I don't ever. I mean, I don't do that regularly. But if there is ice or cold water around, I'll always dump water on my board.
Yeah.
Like when it's not like my turn to ride yet, just because when you're out there so long, even if the board's not in the sun, like the wax can get super soft.
Yeah.
And then the next time you hop on it,
just slides off.
It just slides off. So yeah, just try to keep it out of the sun. I a lot of times will get a towel wet and then just kind of get it damp, so like drain all the water out, and then just lay it on the board.
That's smart.
Especially if you can't keep your board like out of direct sun.
Yeah, and if it is getting super hot, you can even just dip it in the water. But like wherever we were last weekend, the water was super hot too. So there's like no escaping the heat. I guess that's kind of like a pro and con of having wax. Is like it's so much maintenance and so much upkeep. Whereas with traction, you don't have to worry about that. You can just hop on your board. And like same with your feet being kind of like warmed up to the wax. Like if you're just used to riding on a pad, you don't have to worry about your wax feeling right. It's just consistently good.
Yeah.
If that's what you like.
And then like we haven't tried like all the wax options out there. But I know that the wax that I like to use, Miss Palmer's, and I know you use that a lot too.
Yeah.
I think that from what I have used holds up the best in heat.
I think for heat, for sure, yeah.
Especially if you put like a good amount on there. But if you have like a board that's really dark, then it'll still be, very difficult.
Yeah, like you said, Miss Palmer's, it doesn't like slide off like how Sticky Bumps does. Like Sticky Bumps, and I've always kind of used Sticky Bumps, but in heat, it will just like completely slide off, just come all the way off.
Yeah, like some of the other waxes will start to melt like a lot quicker than Palmer's, and Palmer's will just get really soft before it starts to melt.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Do you use base coat at all, or you just go straight?
I just go straight wax, and I don't know if that's better or not, but that's just what I've always done, because I mean I don't really care to buy a base coat and the wax if I don't necessarily need to, and I haven't needed to ever since I started using wax. So just don't use it.
Yeah. Anytime I use any sort of wax, like my biggest problem is, I guess, it holding up. Like I'll always wear through it and get to the base of my board. Even if I use base coat or whatever it is, like I'm always getting through the layer of wax within the first ride.
Yeah, and for me, that's why I have so much Palmer's on my board. And people always either make fun of me or think it's just crazy when they see how much wax is on my board, but when I have a good amount on, like it takes more to get to that, final layer where it's like too thin. But then I always just continue to put wax on like where my foot goes, so that I never get to that point, or hopefully don't get to that point.
And then it kind of creates a little mound for your foot too. You have like a full mountain right there. Do you like that? Having that
I don't
much a mountain.
necessarily hate it,
Yeah.
but
You don't like it?
I mean, it's not great when it gets really big. Like it's annoying when it gets so big, it starts to like break off or like peel up in like large chunks.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why, but sometimes that can happen when it gets like
Too much.
When there's too much, and I've had it peel up to where I can like see like the board again.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing of wax just comes up, and then I'm like, okay, great. I
There
guess
goes
it's time to re-wax.
Whole bar of wax,
Yeah.
basically, for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have so much wax. I wonder how many bars of wax are on your board by the time you change. Do you ever scrape it and redo a whole new wax job, or you kind of just run it?
I used to do that more in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and I usually just do it out of necessity now.
Yeah.
I haven't had to do it in a while, but I remember before a competition, I would sometimes do that. But it can be a lot of work sometimes.
Yeah.
And so if you're able to just maintain it with how it is instead of re-waxing it and stuff like that, then that's ideal because you don't have to re-wax it because that can take a lot of time.
Right. Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap up this podcast here. But before we do, we want to spin for another 2 tricks here. One of them is going to be for Dylan. One of them is going to be for me. And we're going to challenge ourselves and go out and try these tricks. And next podcast, we'll let you know how it goes. So
Let's do it.
Dylan.
I want to spin for me.
You want to spin for you? All right. We're spinning for Dylan's trick right now. See what he has to try.
I'm nervous. Okay, so we got a switch toe side alley-oop in the flats.
Oh my gosh.
That's really hard, but I will try. I'll try for you guys. All right.
Alrighty. Switch toe side alley-oop in the flats.
I think I could try. I don't know how it's gonna go, but
That's gonna be good. Okay. Let's see. Is mine easy or difficult?
you better not get an easy one.
What is it gonna be?
Heel side front.
Heel side, front side shove out.
Heel side. Front side shove out.
So I'll be on the goofy wave. I'll be heel side.
Okay,
Regular
yeah.
stance. And I'll have to get revert somehow. And then I'll have to do a front side shove out. Thinking hard. That one's tough too.
You might just have to get up in the revert position.
Yeah.
Or I guess you could figure out how to get up or get into it.
Whatever's easiest, I guess.
I guess you could shove into it. Heel side shove.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
It'll give me some practice on the heel side shove.
yeah. Yeah, you could get that. I think you could get that.
And so if it's a front side shove, though.
Then you would have to shove into the wave. Right? Because that's front side rotation.
It's confusing, dude. But we will report back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'll shove into the wave.
Alrighty. Well, I have to do a heel side, front side shove out. Dylan has to do
Have to do a switch toe side alley-oop
in the flats.
in the flats. You came up with the most random tricks, bro.
No, I swear I put all of the tricks in here. There's just 160 of them.
Yeah, true.
Well,
All right.
alrighty.
Well, that was a fun podcast.
Yes, sir.
Kind of random, but
We'll do some more random spinning for tricks and see what goes down with that. But till next time, this is WakeSurfology.
peace.
Peace.